Okay, so I want to start to model in some of my exterior elements in this courtyard, and for the time being I'm just going to use model in place to make them all. So I've got the sliding door there on my bathroom floor level. So I'm simply going to make my deck at the same height. So just to remind you of those heights, again we'll have a look in the section view so that you can see them. Right, so we've got the bathroom floor there just below the ground floor level. So I'm going to go back to my bathroom floor plan, and I know that I'm going to be modelling at that height of the bathroom floor. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to architecture and again go to model in place. And this time I'm going to use a different category because essentially this is a floor. I'm going to set the category to floors. Click OK. And maybe I'll call it deck. That's what it is. And then I'm going to go to extrusion and draw a rectangle. So it's just like making a floor really. That's the size I want, but maybe I'll make it, again, have a round number for the size over there. 2000, you know. Now, it's a good thing to see. So notice how it moved the line at the top, not the one at the bottom. That's actually pretty common. And the reason that is because I hadn't selected one of the lines. So I didn't know which one I wanted to move. So if that happens, you just undo and then select the one you want to move. This is really common. When you first start using the program, you'll see the dimensions come up. So over there, I can again see that dimension. And if I type 2000, now it's again going to move that line at the top because that's the one that's selected. So if I wanted to do 2000 but moving the line at the bottom, again I just need to make sure that's the one I've highlighted or selected, and then again change it to 2000 after doing that. So always if you see something moving when you change the dimensions and something moves that you don't want to move, again just make sure you really know which object is selected, and come back and try again once you've selected the thing that you want. So I've got my deck. Well, that's the shaping plan, but now we've got to think about the heights again. So I'm going to make the extrusion start now 0, and I want the thickness of the deck to go down below my bathroom floor level. So I'm going to make this -50, just to make it a thin deck. We're going to put probably a frame underneath later, so 50 is enough. It's probably actually more than we need. Okay, so what that means is that after I finish it, if you look at this in, well, I can't show you in the section, so I'm going to go to the south elevation, and then I'm going to change the display there to wireframe, just so that everything becomes see-through, and we can see through that courtyard wall to our deck. So there you can see the top of my deck lines up with this bathroom floor level, and it comes down 50 mil because I've made the end -50. So you can go below by making your values negative. And so then, before I finish it, so I'll go back to bathroom floor. So before I finish this, I want to now add in some steps. And I want the steps to start from the courtyard level. And so notice I haven't clicked finish model yet. So essentially I'm still working on the one family, and all of these things are going to be grouped together. So I can go back to create now and keep making more extrusions. And again, all of these extrusions will be one object. So they can be on different levels, even if they're one panel. So back to extrusion, and I'll draw another rectangle from the corner here down to the right. I'm going to press escape twice so that I can select the line at the bottom that I want to move. And it's being difficult. Notice it's dimensioning to the wall there, and it's not a difficult thing to work out, but I don't want to add it up in my head. It's 2250, but anyhow, we'll zoom in, and then I'll select that again, and it's not being my friend. Okay, so it should dimension, here we are, it is. Dimension to the nearest thing when you zoom in. That's an old trick. Sometimes zooming in makes the dimensions come up better. If it still doesn't work, have a go at drawing dimensions. You can draw dimensions any time. And have you had a look at dimensioning in AutoCAD yet? You have, yep. So remember in AutoCAD, you tend to use linear dimensions. In Revit, you don't. You use aligned for most things. So you'll see you do have the linear option in Revit, but don't use it. Use align, right, which is different to AutoCAD. So in AutoCAD, you've got align, but you don't use align as much. That's the other way around. So in Revit, it's all aligned dimensions. And so I'm going to go from the line here to the one above and place my dimension to the side. And now, if I select the line, I can always use that dimension to adjust things. And I'm actually going to make that step 300. So again, I've got the shape that I want in plan. Now I need to, as always with Revit, think about the height as well. So if I've got my bathroom floor 450 from the courtyard, I want the next step to be 150 below that. So measuring from the courtyard level, we're coming up 300. So each step is 150. So there's 2 steps or 2 rises. And then the extrusion end, if I'm going to have that 50 mil thickness, the extrusion end is going to be 250. So I'll finish that and then check it in 3D. So there's my step. Back to courtyard, and I'll just repeat that, making another extrusion with another rectangle down to the right. Again, adjust the dimension afterwards, and if it's not doing the right thing, draw a dimension in to get the measurement you want. Yeah. Oh, you could, yeah, I could, absolutely, definitely. Yeah. So then, now I want the steps start at 150. So 150 above the courtyard, that's our riser, and then end at 100. It actually doesn't matter which order you use. If you're thinking maybe the start should have been 100 and the end should have been 150, that would work just as well. It doesn't matter which order you do these. And that's it. So I'll finish it, go to 3D, and there's another step. So that's a good thing to try, just to really get comfortable with setting heights and drawing extrusions in different planes or on different plans to set your starting height. So I'll give you some time to try that. Is there any questions?
Do you like to put a spectral on the short part?
Yes.
Do we need to do separate? We cannot use an L shape.
You could do an L shape. Yeah, you could. Absolutely a good example. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so I've done these steps, and now I've decided actually I want them to be an L shape. So this is a good thing for you to see. I'm going to select the object so that you can see then, so I don't think everyone saw this, to edit it, I've got to go to edit and place after selecting it. And notice how those 3 things come up together. So they're a group or a family. So if I go to edit and place, now I can select each extrusion the way I created them. And so I'll go back to, I'll go to courtyard. So now I can, again, select the extrusion and go to edit extrusion. and I'm back to the sketch that I used to make it. And then I can just draw some more lines. So I'll draw one down here. Come back and adjust that measurement. Well, it's already 300, so that's good. And I'll draw another line connecting that back to the deck. And then using trim to corner, I can join the line on the side with the one at the bottom. And then this one with the one I've just drawn at the top. And then I'll choose that same line again and join it to the previous one on the right. That's an L shape now. And I can edit the other one in the same way. So again, I'll draw a new line, 300 from there. Make sure that's right. 600. And another one at the top. And now this time, just going to do a bit more. I'm going to drag that line across. And now I can use trim for the rest. There we are. And that's key with Revit. You don't always need to make things perfectly to start with. You can do them in a very basic way or even a really rough way. And you can always come back and edit them and add more detail and build on your starting point. And there we are. So back into 3D. There you go. That's good.